Hello everybody, how are you? David and Franco here from the FrancoHosting.com. I'm still a little sick, so please bear with me, I apologize, but I gotta get this video done. I'm moving in a week. But this is my review of the Epson MegaPlex MG-850HD projector for iOS devices, such as the iPhone, iPod Touch, and iPad. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so starting with the pros, I'm going to do both pros and cons, and honestly I just want to get this video done because it's been so long since Epson said this for review, which I honestly do feel bad about, but I got sick, the holiday, everything, so let's just get into the pros right away because plus it's my usual setup, makes things easier. Pro number one, this projector is built for a variety of iOS devices. So if you have an iPod, iPod Touch, iPhone, or even an iPad, then it's going to work just fine. And believe me, it does. I mean, I loved watching iPads today on the demo video, which I'll actually link below. The video quality is fantastic for a projector of this price, and overall, it was just really, really cool seeing my iOS content not on my iOS device for once. I mean, I've never watched it elsewhere in terms of projecting it from a device. I mean, obviously, I've watched it on my computer, on my Apple TV many times, but there's just something really cool about seeing your podcast up on the wall. Pro 2, full support for HDMI, component, composite, and even a microphone. So you could hook up a wide variety of devices to this projector, such as an Xbox 360 like I did, a PlayStation 3, even a Wii, because I know the Wii doesn't have HDMI support, but it does have composite and component support, so you can choose either one. And it even has a microphone input, which is awesome. I think that's really good for presentations and anything that you want to use a projector for in public. Pro number 3, and that is that this projector has great video quality in low light environments. Now, I had to say low light environments because it's kind of common sense. This is a projector. You're not going to be using it on a day like this, although it is gloomy outside, but it's a little too bright to use a projector on a wall, especially a blue wall. I don't really have a white wall that's appropriate for it. But my point is, you're really not going to want to use this projector in daylight, so obviously you're going to use it when it gets dark, or if you just drop the shades. And believe me, the video quality is pretty great. Now, I have not used many projectors in my lifetime. I'm only 26. I'm sure I'll use more projectors as I get older. But this projector was amazing. I really enjoyed the video quality, and especially the sound quality, which I'll talk about in a second. Speaking of sound, pro number 4, surprisingly awesome sound quality. This is something that I did not expect at all. When I think of a projector, I think of projecting video. Yes, maybe a little bit of audio here and there. It's kind of like one of those things where you get a monitor, such as my Asus, and it has built-in speakers, but honestly, those speakers suck. It's probably the worst speakers I've ever heard in my life, minus like little tiny devices, but that's exactly what it sounds like. It sounds like it's coming out of an iPhone the size of my thumb. Seriously. But this projector, surprisingly phenomenal sound quality. It actually had good treble. It actually had pretty good bass. I mean, my room wasn't like thumping like a regular subwoofer obviously would. But seriously guys, this sound quality is probably my biggest pro of this projector. I was just so pleasantly surprised and just overall impressed. I mean, trust me, check out this projector not only for the video quality, but it's also an excellent sound dock. Moving on to pro number 5, and this isn't a huge one, but this is something I still wanted to mention, and that's the fact that it has a fast boot up time. Now again, I haven't used many projectors, but I'm assuming this is normal, but still, I was pretty impressed. This projector every time booted up in less than a minute, and in my eyes, a fast boot up time is always good, especially if you're running late, like if you teach a class or if you want to give a presentation. You gotta hook it up right away, get going, and you're good in less than a minute. And now, pro number 6. I don't have enough fingers on one hand because I have my iPad with me for notes, just in case I forget anything. And that is the on-screen menu works great for the iPhone, iPod Touch, and iPad. So yes, you will see a similar interface. Now, of course, you won't see like a springboard on your wall, which would be pretty cool, but you do get a very organized list of your content. So you have a nice, cool-looking list, I guess that's the best way of saying it, of your video podcasts, your videos, TV shows, movies, your music playlist, your photo albums, all that stuff. So basically, if you're looking to present media in an organized fashion, this projector is going to do a great job of handling just that. And now, of course, with any great product comes a few cons, but trust me, the pros very, very, very easily outweigh the cons. So let's get into it. Number 1, the iOS dock does not work with iPhone and iPod Touch cases. Now this is from my experience. I do have, it's back here, did you hear that noise? The iPhone 4S with the black bumper, which isn't obtrusive at all. It's a very, very minimalistic case. It's very thin, very out of the way. Basically, it's non-obtrusive, which is great because I like a minimal design. I don't like bulky cases. It's just me. But my point is, if this bumper is not going to fit on the dock, chances are no other iPhone cases are going to fit on the dock either. However, either way, it's really not a big deal, honestly. I mean, if your case can't fit, then just take it off. I mean, if you're serious about presenting your content, I highly doubt a case or a bumper or whatever you're using is going to get in your way. Con number 2, and this is fairly odd. I mean, it wasn't a problem for me, but it's one of those things where I'm thinking why Epson didn't include it. Maybe they're just kind of pulling the Apple root in the floppy disk and they're just trying to get rid of, you know, old technology now before later. By the way, I say floppy disk because when Apple got rid of the floppy drive, everyone went crazy, but they were right. They were moving on to the CD, but anyway, that's another video. Well, that is the fact that there is no PC in on this projector. Now, when I say PC in, I mean VGA or DVI. You do, of course, have full HDMI support, so if your computer supports HDMI or if you use some kind of HDMI adapter, then it should work just fine. I don't see why not. But if you do mainly rely on a VGA or DVI connection, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to hook up your computer to this projector. Then again, of course, I'm going to repeat myself. I haven't used many projectors, so perhaps this whole PC in thing isn't that common nowadays. However, with that said, you do have composite. I just find it odd that you don't have a PC in, but they give you composite. And composite is old. Composite's been around since, what, the days of VCRs? Maybe even before then? I'm not even sure, to be honest. But the point is, it's been around for years and years. But anyway, that's just a minor rant. Again, it was not an issue with me and my usage, but it might be an issue with you and your usage. And now for the third and final con, and probably the most disappointing part of this Epson projector review, for me anyway, is that there's no official Airplay support. And by official, I mean none whatsoever. So if I wanted to Airplay my iPhone's content to the projector over Wi-Fi, I can't. If I wanted to project my iPad's content without having to connect it to the dock, I can't. Now, of course, this is not a huge issue for everybody, but it's just kind of odd that it doesn't have it, because especially with OS X Mountain Lion right around the corner, and it has full Airplay mirroring support, meaning you can project your Mac display onto anything that supports Airplay, and this doesn't support that. That's just very disappointing in my eyes. Again, everybody's usage is going to differ. This is meant to be an iOS dock and nothing more. It's not meant to be an Airplay projector. But then again, maybe you are working on it as I speak, so I could be wrong. So let's just hope we see Airplay support in future Epson projectors, because trust me, it's something not only I would appreciate, but thousands and thousands of your users would also appreciate very much. Especially if they're Mac users. We kind of take Airplay for granted nowadays. And now with all that said and done, the Epson MegaPlex MG-850HD, I can't memorize that, guys, retails for $6.99 over at Epson.com. If you buy from them, you do get free shipping, which is always good. I really don't pay shipping nowadays. Another thing I kind of take for granted with Amazon Prime, but that's beside the point. So just go to Epson.com, the link is right below. So yes, huge thanks to Epson.com for sending a MegaPlex my way for review. Overall, I really enjoyed it. With a few features aside missing, like such as the Airplay support and PC in, I still have to fully recommend this projector, especially if you guys are looking for a new way to show off your content or even just use it as an iPod dock. Well, I don't suggest buying it just for the iPod dock. That could be the most expensive iPod dock ever, except for that huge boombox that showed at CES, but that thing is ridiculous. But my point is, if you're looking for a new way to show your content and an iPod dock in one with surprisingly awesome sound quality, check it out. This MegaPlex might be for you. And now we must part ways, sadly. But if you guys have any questions regarding this Epson projector, I'm pointing it just behind the camera, just comment below and I'll do my best to answer them. And of course, I hope you guys had an excellent Memorial Day weekend. I know I did. I mean, look, I finally got sun. I'm not pale anymore. It's a miracle. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.